What's up? Thanks for coming in. Good, how are you? Good. All right, Kike, what a play last night. Thanks so much for coming in. Who's got the first question? We'll start with Kirsten in the third row on your left.
Kike, just to be in this position, you guys forced a Game 7 last night. Just when you think about the emotions, the feelings going into this one, how would you put it to words?
There was a lot of emotions last night. Today, everybody's really excited. I don't think there's one person in either locker room that didn't dream as a kid playing in Game 7 of the World Series, and it's here in front of us. So, it's been a great World Series, and the World Series now it's going to get decided on who plays best during one of those games.
You've been in a Game 7 before. Just what have you learned from these games, and how have they prepared you for a game like today?
I played in two Game 7s in the NLCS, and then one in the World Series. The one I played in the World Series was a little bit of a different story for me because I got to pinch hit in the second inning. I got hit by a pitch, and the next pitch we lined out into a double play, and that was it for my game. I got to watch for 7 innings, and it felt pretty helpless. And tonight I get to play, which is exciting. And I think experience is what it is. I think this is you can't really think of, oh, I already had the experience of Game 7 because these guys are coming off of Game 7 against Seattle. So we just gotta take it as any other game. But we know what's at stake, and we need to have that urgency. But at the same time, be patient and not, try to win the game in one specific inning. We just gotta play our game, play sound, fundamental baseball, and hopefully we come out on top.
Third row on your right, Kike. Pete.
Kike, your sample size of postseason games is pretty large, over 80 games. What do you attribute all the success that you've had in
over
October
100.
to?
It's been over 100.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's over 100. But what do you that's a pretty big chunk. What do you kind of put your success on for that with those games?
I don't know. I feel like I've had to answer this question too many times, but man, it's just when else would you rather do it than in the postseason? Everything is heightened. The focus is heightened. The intensity is heightened. The electricity in the stadiums. Everything is different. You can't compare a playoff game to a game in the 162 because the reality is it's not the same, not even close. And I don't know. The chaos brings out the best in me. It's the best way I can put it into words, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Is there something about your personality you think that lends yourself to these kind of games?
Personality, yeah. The fire, the desire, the heart, my brain. My brain's all over the place, man. I got really bad ADHD, and I think these are it's almost like when you're in school and you have a project for 2 months and then you leave it for the last day. Like the way my brain works is like I'm not gonna do anything till the last day, and that's I'm gonna prepare everything on that day, and that's kind of a similar way. Like I'm able to stay in the moment and like stay really, really focused for 9 innings or 18 innings. So I don't know. It's just I don't know, bro. I don't know.
One row ahead, John.
So right here, Kike. All the Blue Jays relievers yesterday wrote 51 on their hats as a tribute to your teammate, Alex Vesia. What's that mean to you, given the stakes of the World Series, but they are realizing that there's things bigger than baseball?
Yeah, I didn't notice till Bassett. Actually, it was actually after Bassett struck me out, and I was looking up at the board to see the replay, and that's when I saw that he had 51. And instead of being mad that I struck out, I was kind of going back to the dugout thinking, did Bassett play with Vesia at any point? And then obviously after the game, I saw that everybody had him. Man, for those guys to do that, it's incredible. They're trying to win a World Series, but they understand that this is, life is bigger than baseball, and baseball is just a game. And for them to do that, and with the stake where we were at with the stakes, it's hats off to them. And I want them to know that we appreciate them, even regardless of what happens tonight. We appreciate what they did.
We'll stay right there, Kike. Same row. Gabe.
Hey, Kike. The managers are trying to figure out pockets and usage and all that kind of stuff. As a player in a game like this, is it just a matter of follow where the game takes you and know that the only time you really have any control is when you have the bat in your hands?
Yeah, I mean, when you get drafted, when you sign, and like you're younger in your career, the thing that you hear the most is you need to learn how to control what you can control, and you need to let go of what you can't. And we've been here in our whole careers, and here we are now. And like Game 7, like the only thing we can do is play the game, right? When we're offensively, if we're in the dugout, there's nothing you can do but cheer for your teammates. When you're in the box, the only thing you can do is swing at the right pitch or not. Try to get on base, do whatever you can. Then you move on to the bases and run the bases. That's all you can do. And then when you're on defense, you're just hoping the ball gets hit to you and you make a play. So you just got to play the game, man. You got to play the game and let the game come to you.
Second row on your left, Kike.
Hola, Kike.
Hola.
En la jugada ayer, en la novena entrada con Justin Dean, ¿cómo viviste ese momento? ¿Fue muy estresante? ¿Qué le dijiste a Dean? ¿Cómo fueron esos momentos?
La bola le dio a la bola y yo estaba tratando de hacer la asistencia por si acaso picaba duro y le rebotaba por encima de la cabeza porque el turf rebota. Yo estaba atrás de él. Tan pronto vi que la bola se encajó, yo subí las manos antes que él. No sé si él me vio a mí porque yo vi el replay y se ve que él está mirando para donde mí y yo tenía las manos arriba y ahí fue que levantó las manos. Pero cuando yo levanté las manos y él levantó las manos y cuando me viro yo veo que todo el mundo está corriendo y no me fijé en los árbitros. Yo no sabía si habían parado la jugada o no. Y nosotros tenemos la instrucción de que lo que podemos hacer es subir las manos y después hacer la jugada, terminar la jugada, porque al final del día es a discreción de los árbitros y eso es una jugada que se puede hacer replay. Tú levantas tus manos y terminas la jugada. Y una vez, si no la cantan, el equipo le puede hacer el challenge y entonces se va al replay. Cuando pasa la jugada, que yo veo que todo el mundo está corriendo, yo le empecé a gritar, coge la bola y tírala, coge la bola y tírala, coge la bola y tírala. Y en esos momentos del béisbol, en tu mente pasan tantas y tantas cosas que lo único que yo estaba pensando, yo veía a los muchachos correr y yo decía, no puede ser que así es que vamos a perder la Serie Mundial. Esto es lo que yo me voy a llevar conmigo el resto de mi vida, porque yo estaba viendo como los dos corredores seguían corriendo y anotaron los dos. Y yo decía, no puede ser que así es que vamos a perder la Serie Mundial. Pero gracias a Dios, pues los árbitros hicieron la llamada correcta.
Go to Jack in the third row, Kike.
Hey, both Miggy and Teo were in here yesterday talking about offensively just wanting guys to not worry about failure as much, kind of be more freed up at the plate. Obviously, you guys came out pretty aggressive last night, were able to build a big inning. Do you feel like as an offense, just the approach last night, some of the results you guys had, just kind of put you in a better space going into tonight, especially after the game's back in LA?
I mean, yeah, we won. So if we didn't win, we wouldn't be here today. But at the end of the day, we had one good inning. And it seems like that's been the theme throughout, this World Series. But, yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to come out aggressive, If he's struggling with command, then we, take a step back. But I'm sure he's going to come in pounding the strike zone, so we got to stay aggressive and then, let the game dictate what the approach should be. But, I mean, we were able to score 3 in one inning, and what I take from that is that we were able to get 2 big hits with runners in scoring position, which has been a struggle for us to, come in and get base hits with runners in scoring position. So hopefully tonight we can do the same thing.
Go to David, then Bill.
Kike, I'm going to ask in English and Spanish, if you don't mind answering in both. Last couple games, Dave has had to tweak his lineup and his defense because of that, and obviously you're a key part of that with your versatility. The question is, how much pride do you take in that and facilitating that for Dave? El último par de juegos, Dave ha tenido que cambiar su lineup y su defensa. Tu versatilidad es clave en eso. ¿Cuánto orgullo te da poder facilitarle las cosas a Dave en ese sentido?
I mean, I take an enormous pride in that, even though I've only played 2 positions this World Series. The reality of things is that my versatility is what's kept me in the big leagues all these years. And the best thing that baseball has is we play on both sides of the ball. We don't only play on one side of the ball. Some people do. Some people do other things like show. They get to pitch and hit, But for me, it's finding a way to impact the game one way or the other. And my bat hasn't really been there that much this series, but I still, like every great defender in the league, I'm sure every great defender wants every single pitch, they want the ball hit to them. And that's what I take pride on, En cuanto a la versatilidad, es algo que yo me toma mucho orgullo porque es lo que me ha mantenido en grandes ligas y el hecho de que yo le pueda dar esa facilidad al dirigente de hacer los ajustes necesarios en el line-up, porque pues él piensa que donde sea que me ponga no pierde ningún valor defensivo, pues eso es algo grande, especialmente en juegos como este. Pero para mí, yo entiendo que lo mejor que tiene el béisbol es poder jugar de los dos lados de la bola, no tan solo batear, pero uno también defiende y uno puede buscar la manera de impactar el juego, ya sea con su bate, con sus piernas o con el guante. Y yo no he hecho mucho con el bate, pero yo siento que anoche pues pude impactar el juego con mi defensa.
Do a few last ones, Tyler, on your right. And then Bill.
Yeah, that play last night was obviously so important. Take me through that, like from where you're positioned. Are you looking at your card? Do you just know that that's where he's likely to hit it? And then when you come up throwing, are you seeing Barger as you're making that catch, or is it instinctual? Just take me through that.
I was like, I don't know how to say it, side to side, like whatever. Like I was where I was needed to be, but I was 7 feet shallower than the card wanted me to be. Because I was expecting or anticipating Hernandez hitting a ball in the 6th hole. And given the fact that Barger's pretty fast at second base, I wanted to position myself in a position like where I was shallow enough to charge in on a ground ball base hit. I was able to charge in and not have to force a throw to home plate where I had to throw it over the cutoff man. So I wanted to be shallow enough to where I could keep the runner at third, but also the batter runner at first base and keep the double play alive because there was only one out. And then, obviously, once that ball got hit, I mentioned last night that, every time, it doesn't matter where we are, what stadium it is, the human element of the crowd, they're cheering. They can be as loud as they want, but, like, for a split second, as soon as the pitcher's about to deliver the ball, every time, it doesn't fail. The stadium goes quiet for, like, a split second at release, all the way to contact or swing and miss, whatever it is. And that little amount of quietness was the one that allowed me to hear the broken bat, and I was able to get a really good jump on the ball, come in. And as far as like looking at Barger, I guess it's instinctual, but like when I'm playing, like especially left field, when I'm coming in, I have the whole field in front of me. You're looking at the ball, but you can still, like, by looking at the ball, you can still feel where the runners are. And I felt like he had, extended his lead, or like, I don't know, whatever it was. I felt that he was far away from the bag, but I couldn't look at him because I didn't even know where the ball was, because the ball was in the lights the whole time. So I just went to where I thought the ball was going to land. And sure enough, at the very end, ball got out of the lights. And for like a quick glance, I wanted to get him out at second. I knew I needed to be quick and perfect. So I gave a slight look at third base to see if he was going to tag, because I don't want him to be safe and then also allowed the runner to score if, I could keep him at third base. And when I saw that he wasn't tagging, that's when I decided to throw to second base. And I didn't have enough time to adjust my hips to make a good, strong throw. So I thought I needed to be careful with the throw. And I wanted to long hop it, but I was coming in at full speed in a different direction, and my arm angle didn't allow me to long hop it. And Miggy made an unbelievable pick.
Two last ones, Bill and then Kirsten. Bill, go ahead.
We've all heard, plenty about how much money the Dodgers spend on player salaries. But I'm wondering, as a guy who's been around the league and played for a number of organizations, what do the Dodgers do that help you guys be successful that goes beyond just spending money on players?
Communication between the players and front office, players and coaching staff. When they gonna do something, like in terms of like whatever it is, like travel or whatever, they always ask us. And like I'm sure you guys heard, like last year we met, a few players met with front office and to talk about traveling in the postseason, and we gave them our point of view, which was very different to the sleep doctor, what the sleep doctor thought we should do. And we changed the traveling plans and we kept it going this year. But it's just, they have our best interests for everything, and they want to make sure that not only do we have what we need, but we're also like happy with like what's going on. So I think to where other organizations, they're like maybe we're going to do things our way, and you're just a player. You work for us, you know. But I think these guys just want us to be like, you know, make sure that we're on top of our game at all times. So if you need a guy to be on top of their game, why not ask that person, what do you need to be on top of your game? And I think that's something that they do different than maybe not other organizations do.
I'll finish up with Kirsten.
I've got a fun one for you. Your headband, of course, it says Believe. How much is it being a Ted Lasso fan, and how much is it just the reminder of it's plain and simple, you have to believe tonight?
Both. I got it because I'm a Ted Lasso fan, and the timing is right. I mean, didn't bring it out till the last 2 games, so yeah.
All right, Kike, thanks for walking us through your amazing play. Appreciate the time. Thank you. All right, we'll get started with Doc. We'll start with Barry in the second row.
Usually I get the last one, so teeing off on you today. What went into your final? I mean, when you left the room last night, it seemed pretty obvious that Ohtani was your starting pitcher. What went into the decision, and how many innings you got for him? What's your setup behind him?
Well, as far as innings, not sure. It depends how he comes out, how he looks, how he's throwing, how he's feeling. And so I just kind of want to, you know, withhold kind of expectation and kind of read and react. As far as, you know, pitching plan, everyone's available. And so how the game plays out, I just can't predict it. I don't think anyone can. So we'll see how it goes. But it starts obviously with the way Shohei's throwing the baseball. And yeah, last night we talked to him and he said he was on board for starting. And, you know, to be able to start him, it allows for us to kind of let him run as long as we can versus have him on the back end of the game.
We'll stay there with John right next to Barry.
Hey, Dave. Last night, as the Blue Jays relievers came out of the bullpen, they'd all written 51 on the side of their hats as a tribute to Alex Vesia. Obviously, the stakes are very high right now in the World Series. What's it mean to you and your team to have your opponents recognize the very real-life stuff that's going on with him?
It's everything. I didn't learn that until after the game last night, and I think it really speaks to the brotherhood of athletes, Major League Baseball players, that they'll all say that, you know, baseball is what we do, but it's not who we are. And for these guys to recognize Alex and, you know, what he and Kay have gone through, it's heartbreaking. It's not even a good enough descriptor, but for them to acknowledge that, it just speaks to how much respect and love they have for one another. It's a huge tribute to Alex. Yeah.
We'll go to Fabian in the next row.
Yeah, Dave, Yamamoto was moving around a little bit. Is he available tonight as well?
We'll see how he is in catch play, but he said that if he feels good, he's definitely interested.
The fourth row on your left, Sonia.
Dave, the rotation has been so big for this team all postseason. How much confidence does it give you to have so many of them and possibly Yoshinobu too available tonight?
It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, pitching is tough. It's tough on the mind, the body, and for each one of these guys to want to take the baseball and raise their hand and say, pick me, I'm available, is pretty remarkable for a manager to look out and say everyone wants to, you know, take part. So they've been the backbone, certainly for the second half of the season for our club, and you know, they all want to participate, which is amazing.
And Yoshinobu especially saw this in Game 3 when he got up in the pen and warmed up, but you know, he hasn't even really gone on regular rest. You know, what does it say about him that he's trying to be part of these important games?
Character, compete, all of the above. It's just, you know, because it's past the physical. This is the mental part of it, where he's as strong mentally as a guy as I've seen.
Go to the third row on your left.
Dave, you've been in a lot of Game 7s, a lot of elimination games, a lot of winner-take-all games, but as far as managing a World Series Game 7, you have that 2017 against the Astros experience. What did you learn from that game that you can apply to this game?
You know, we got behind early. I think it was the second inning. I still felt that there was a lot of baseball left. I think this is going to be a different game. I hope it's going to be a different outcome. But I don't know. I do think that you got to manage with urgency, but we gave up a 2-out double. So and that's kind of was the tail of the game. So I wouldn't say I learned anything about that particular game. It's a different team. It's 8 years from then. So we have a different group. So I'm going to watch and read and react and do whatever I can to, put players in a position to win.
Jack up front on your left.
Was it a long conversation with Shohei?
No, Shohei, we don't have long conversations.
And was there any kind of debate about trying to use him in relief later, or was like starting always the thing that just kind of made the most sense given
It
the
just
use?
made the most sense given what it allows for the runway.
And then what do you expect from him, even on short rest, just the way he's going to handle this moment, given the way he's kind of risen to previous big moments in the past?
I expect him to show well. Just don't know how long, but we got to wait and see how it looks. And then if he's rolling, he's going to keep pitching.
I'll stay there with Ron.
Was the rule, in the way it's written, kind of the decisive factor in using him as a starter rather than relief, knowing that if you brought him in relief, you might have to manipulate the batting order and put him in?
That's part of it, certainly, yes.
Was that the decisive factor?
No, that's a factor, but also just, again, having him start, it gives you an opportunity to kind of see, you don't kind of pigeonhole him in his usage or what. The game is 0-0, and you can have him start and then give him a runway to see how the game plays out.
Third row on your left, Tyler.
Dave, everybody knows that the Dodgers spend money, but a lot of other teams spend money too, a lot of money. What does the Dodgers do beyond that has brought about such sustained success that maybe eludes other teams?
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. I think that people just overlook the fact that every year we probably have the top 5 farm system in baseball. This year I think we probably have number 1 or number 2. We pick at the bottom of the draft every year, towards the bottom. And we still have young guys, whether by way of trade or development, that continue to, help contribute. So I think that, on the business side, I think that we do a great job of marketing our organization. So it's pretty buttoned up. And I think we have great people and obviously great ownership too.
Standing in the back left, Jason.
Dave, I'm sure you've heard the expression that the 2 best words in baseball are Game 7. I wonder if that is true.
That depends, who you ask.
Right. Is it true for
I wouldn't
the
say
manager?
a manager, Jay. As a sports fan, which I am first, yes, I agree with you. But as a manager, it's there's just a lot of decisions that are made that aren't made. But yeah, it's bananas, and there's nothing like a Game 7 in all of sport.
I mean, I'm sure you recognize how epic and memorable Game 7s always are. But as you go into managing one, do you feel the weight of that?
Not until this question. I felt pretty good. No, you know what? I love our guys. I love our players, and we got to go out and play a good baseball game. So yeah. We're going to use more players. That's just kind of the nature of a Game 7. You've got to manage on the margins, manage with more urgency than even in the regular postseason game. But outside of that, you got to play good baseball.
Third row on your right, Pete.
Dave, have you come to any conclusions about what makes Kike such a good postseason player?
Next level focus, high baseball acumen, ability to manage the heartbeat, not afraid to fail. And so those are probably, a few things that make him a consistent postseason performer.
He said earlier when he was in here that he was 7 feet away from where the card told him to be on that play last night, but he kind of had the instinct that it might be a little shallow. Did you see that developing as you were watching it? Or
I didn't see it developing, but it's not surprising, and I do encourage our guys to be humans and not robots and not be beholden to a card. And it's played by humans, and Kike is a heck of a baseball player with great feel, and that feel helped him, double off Barger last night.
The last row on your right, Doc.
Hi, you opened the season in Tokyo and finishing in Canada, and you have so many players from so many different countries, like Japan, Korea, Cuba, Dominica. Like, do you think how this World Series mean to the baseball world, and also like how much impact given to the sports itself?
I think baseball, the interest is at an all-time high worldwide. I think that, we've traveled from starting in Tokyo. We've logged a lot of miles this year, the Dodgers. But, yeah, we're a very diverse team, baseball industry is very diverse as far as accounting for a lot of different countries. The brand of baseball has been fantastic. I think it's, certainly fitting that we are playing a Game 7 where there's going to be a lot of interest. But, yeah, I'm proud to be a small piece of this, and, hopefully we can put on a show tonight.
The second row on your left, Jordan.
Having now battled for 6 games, what has stood out to you about the Blue Jays as an opponent compared to maybe before the series started?
They're just they're gritty. They're tough. They play the game the right way, coach well, run well. A lot of respect for them.
We'll go to the back with Anthony.
Hey, Doc. You were talking earlier about, the things you guys do above and beyond the payroll. And part of that is, you got 3 future Hall of Famers at the top of your lineup, which a lot of teams would love to have, but that is necessarily always cohesive, stars playing together. What is it about this group? Why does that work so well?
It works because of the character. They're stars on every team, but when you have your stars that value the little things, that value practice, that value oneness, unselfish, whether it's in the order, batting order, or days off, whatever it might be, trying to make people around them better. Very selfless guys, and just consistent performers, how they go about it. So it makes my job a lot more fun. And, yeah, I think that the talent is one thing, but when you're talking about 162 and winning year in and year out, it's a character thing and not just a talent, because there's talent all over. But, we've identified some special talented players, but also their character for me exceeds their talent. It really does.
Do a few more. The second row on your left.
Hi, Dave. How do you compare this World Series to the ones you managed in the past, talking about level of intensity?
So, yeah, the Astros 17 was pretty intense. The Red Sox, that was intense. The bubble was different, but certainly intense. Last year was playing the Yankees was pretty bananas. It's right there with them. They're all, you're one of 2 teams left. So they're all intense in their own right. They're all different. But now when you're talking about a Game 7 for everything, and there is no tomorrow, so it's probably as intense as it gets.
Anything else for Doc? We'll finish with Jack.
You going to give a pregame speech?
No need. These guys are on autopilot right now. They don't need me.
We'll do one last one with Jim behind you.
Kind of expounding on that, when Kiké was in here, he had the Believe headband and he had the Failure is Not an Option T-shirt. Yeah, I think he was trying to be a walking inspirational billboard. But are there guys on this team that will do something rah-rah before the game, or will at least talk to guys and remind them, if needed, of what's at stake here?
Not what's at stake. I think that Kike and Miggy are probably the guys that are kind of the emotional leaders on the team, though. Emotional vocal leaders.
Would it maybe be, though, rather than firing guys up, maybe calming guys down?
I don't think our heart rate's up. I think our guys are pretty calm to a man. I really do.
All right, Doc, thank you so
All right,
much.
thanks,
Good luck.
guys. Yep.